Welcome back, everybody. I am one of the hosts, DJ Riley from Boys on the Bench, and we are going back at this NBA prize picks. Now, if you were tailing yesterday, it was just an awful day of basketball. We went 1-4, unfortunately. We saw several blowouts, and in one in particular, we saw the Thunder versus the Trailblazers, where we saw the Thunder go out and win by 62, tied for the fifth largest win in NBA history. Now, the Bucks and the Celtics, for me, hurts a little bit more. Still another roughly a 30-point blowout. But I had Giannis and Lillard going over on one of their stat lines. Giannis had 18 rebounds plus assists going into the fourth. Didn't play the fourth. We really just needed one more, so he got a hook in that one. Lillard got 21 points, shooting 50% and shooting at a very high rate. Felt like he would have hit that going into the fourth quarter. Didn't play the fourth quarter. So obviously, I felt like both of these would have hit if they were given that opportunity to play in the fourth quarter, but didn't happen. Kyrie Irving, on the other hand, he did hit his bet. I felt like he was going to have high assist totals if you listened to yesterday's episode, and he did, had 10 assists yesterday, hit that line very easily. Kevin Durant played second fiddle, which was surprising versus this Lakers team that he's dominated in the three prior games to them versus them this season. Anyways, kind of is what it is. We should have maybe gone 3-4 yesterday. We still would have lost. It was a power play, but it still sucks not seeing Giannis and Lillard hit those bets when they really should have versus the Celtics, a game that should have been close versus that Celtics team. Anyways, let's go ahead and move into today's picks. I do have 2 overs and 2 unders. So let's go ahead and jump into those 2 overs for today. And the first one, I have Jalen Suggs going over 2.5 3-pointers made. He has hit this line in 5 straight games, and really, that's just because he's shooting at such a high rate. We see him that over this past week, he's been averaging 8.6 attempts per game, making 4.8 of them. So making over 50% of his 3-point attempts that he's shooting. Now, where I like him a lot in this game is Miami currently allows the 4th most threes shot against them and 13th most points made from 3-pointers. So I do expect Jaden Ivey coming into this game. He'll probably sit anywhere from that 8 to 10 3-point attempts range. And really, we're just looking for him to make 30% of those shots, where, again, he is making 50% over this past week. So he is being very dominant from behind the arc, and I think he's going to have plenty of opportunities to hit that today. Moving on to the second over, I have Domantas Sabonis going over 22.5 points. He has hit this line in 3 out of his last 5 games. And honestly, the 76ers have been so bad at defending the center, and that is either with Joel Embiid or without. Today, they are without, and I do fully expect the Kings to take advantage of this matchup. They really don't have anybody on their team that can match up versus someone like Sabonis, so I think he'll be able to score quite easily on the inside versus them. Philadelphia currently allows the 7th most points to centers and 13th most points from 2-point attempts, where obviously Sabonis is living. So fully expect Sabonis to eat in this matchup. We've seen the 76ers slumping greatly without Embiid in there on defense, losing 2 games, giving up a lot of points to the Atlanta Hawks this last game. So anyways, love Sabonis in this matchup going over 22.5 points. Now, moving on to our unders for today, staying in that same game, I have Paul Reed going under 9.5 points. Now, he has hit this under in 3 out of his last 5 games, and the Kings are really bad at defending the forward position, allowing bottom 10 numbers to either small forward or power forward. However you look at him, some books have him listed as differently. So either way, they are really bad at defending the power forwards. Where I have struggles taking the over for him, though, in this regard, is that I'm not convinced that the 76ers are committed to him. We saw in that last matchup, like I had just mentioned, where Atlanta was scoring a lot versus the 76ers team. Paul Reed was listed as the starter and started the game, but played 18 minutes, and that was it. Only had 2 fouls for the entire game. So I just not convinced that they are committed to him. And again, he's only hit this in 2 out of his last 5, the over in 2 out of his last 5. So really leaning towards the under in this game. Today, he's probably expecting 24 to 25 minutes as a high number. But again, we're kind of looking at them being mismatched on the inside with Sabonis. So don't really love Paul Reed in this matchup, taking him at under 9.5 points. Let's go ahead and move on to the last pick that we have for today, and that's our second under, being Jaden Ivey, going under 27.5 points, rebounds, and assists. He has hit this under in 4 out of his last 5 games, and Houston continues to dominate the guard position, allowing the second least amount of points to shooting guards and bottom 10, or having top 10 numbers versus the guards in general. Houston does play at a slower pace of play over league average. So I do think this is going to limit Jaden Ivey's opportunities in the long run. And also, not to mention, they are top 5 in points allowed from 2-point attempts. So this is kind of where Jaden Ivey has been living. Again, really, it's kind of the recent history. This Detroit team is still trying to figure out life without Cade Cunningham. And while Jaden Ivey has been very efficient, he hasn't been 28 PRA efficient. So love him staying on the under on this. Anyways, guys, these are the 4 picks that I have for today on PrizePicks. Again, 2 overs and 2 unders. We will be doing the 10 times multiplier power play on PrizePicks. So make sure y'all are smashing this. Also, make sure y'all are smashing the subscribe and like button, dropping a comment in there as well. I always love to know which picks you're tailing, which ones you're fading. Let me know if I'm an idiot or if I'm smart with my plays, if they make sense or not. Anyways, best of luck to you, hoping to go 4-4 today and really cashing out on these opportunities. However, we'll see you next time.